In this video, we will be talking about the properties of multiplication. As you see, I have written out the 5 properties here. Now we'll go through and do an example for each one. The commutative property says that the order does not change the product, the order in which I multiply two numbers. So for example, if I'm multiplying 4 times -5, then that is the same thing, times -5, that is the same thing as -5 times 4. It's not going to change the answer, the product. The associative property says that the grouping, the way that I group 3 numbers will not change the product. So if I'm multiplying, let's say I'm multiplying the 3 numbers, -2 times 7 times 4, and I group the -2 and the 7 together, do that first. That's not going to change the product. If I change that grouping and group, instead of the 2 and 7 together, I group the 7 and the 4 together. That will equal the same thing. The identity property says that the product of a number and 1 is going to be that number. So for example, if I'm multiplying -5 times 1, it's going to equal -5. The property of 0 says that, well, if we multiply a number by 0, it's going to equal 0. So any number, so for example, -3 times 0 is going to equal 0. These properties really aren't very hard, so it's nice that they're easy to understand. The last one is the property of -1, which says that the product of a number and -1 is the opposite of that number. So for example, if I am multiplying -2 times a -1, get this to right here, there we go, then it's going to be the opposite of that number. So what's the opposite of -2? Well, it's going to be a +2. So these are the properties of multiplication.